Good now, revolutionaries, and welcome to the Rise Up Morning Show, your place for helpful news, commentary, and of course, answers to your crypto questions. I'm Evan. He's Alex. We're without Will, who's in Iceland today. Let's begin.
Good morning, the Rise Up Morning Show.
It is Monday, November 18th, and what are you doing? Where are your kids? Solana is
at
burning a tail.
$242.
And XRP, last I checked, was at like $1.17. Cardano's at 76 cents. Bitcoin is over 90,000 and just parked there. It's wild, man. Are you taking profits on your Solana?
I sold a little bit at 240.
Yeah, man. I am like a moose shaman in our Discord where I haven't sold yet. I'm thinking about it, just doing a little sell, but I don't know, man. Just tiny amounts. I don't know. It's little bits. Yeah,
Although
little bits.
I'm not as at first. I was like, oh yeah, I'll do this, and then when it goes back below 200, I'll do it again. And I'm like, is it anytime soon?
I don't know exactly.
That's revisit 180, 160.
And it just makes me feel like who knows when what is it Willy Wonka when he says round and round and round it goes or whatever. I don't know. That's kind of what it makes me think. I had
what's interesting about that is just there's no news. There's no like one news story that just did it. It's demand. It's just good old fashioned users doing stuff.
That's the thing is that everybody I find keeps asking what's going on, what's happening, why is this happening, and I have to keep saying to people, honestly, I don't know. I say here's something that did happen, and then I say I don't think that's why this is happening though. I think people are just coming. They're here for reflection. Alex, how many TikTok comments are you getting? More comments now from new people, especially because I feel like I am. A lot of people who are interested who might be thinking about crypto for the first time.
Yep.
Yeah.
Definitely a good, healthy amount.
Yeah, and that to me is an indicator that this is it's unprecedented is the wrong word, but it's a lot of demand.
I was out last night with a buddy of mine who came to town for the weekend, and we went to this bar, and the bartender was wearing a D-Gods shirt.
No way.
Yep. And I was like, nice shirt. And he's like, you know what this is? And I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, brother.
Yeah, dude. No big deal, but I was definitely a founder before Frank. That's all I'm saying.
Oh my gosh.
But no, it was cool. He was a total degenerate.
The bartender was?
Yeah.
Oh man. Well,
and I was wearing a my mom thinks I work at Bitcoin shirt.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So we bonded. It was very funny.
Success. Oh my gosh. I had a variety of notes to talk about on today's show, and now I just can't seem to find them anywhere. Before we went live, Alex and I were talking a little bit about ETH Denver. One of the conferences we hope to go to this coming year is Ethereum Denver. If you've never been to a cryptocurrency conference and you're like just falling down a rabbit hole for the first time and you're very excited about it and you live in the United States or could travel to Denver, it is the best conference that I have been to, and the culture around it is so it's cool. It's the coolest people, and it's pretty good for people at all levels of experience, but it's especially great, I think, for people who are building something. They are also a great place to look for if you want to know tokens or companies that might be relevant in the not too distant future in our space. Look to see who's sponsoring ETH Denver. They turn away a ton of sponsors, people who just want to like shill a project. And
what does it cost to sponsor? Do you know? Have you ever looked?
I don't know, actually. I could find out. I did not indicate on my application I was interested, but I certainly could find out. But just to give you perspective, the first tier sponsors, let me see, where did it go? I'm going to pull it up, are some companies that I have never heard of. And like some of the third tier sponsors are numerous companies that I have. but they're big on that. They're like, if you are just shilling a project or like selling a token, we really don't want you to sponsor this. So it's like a high signal to noise ratio. Let me see, ETH Denver sponsors. Also, for anybody who was here on the show, I've got a couple new sound effects, Alex.
Uh-oh.
I almost launched this one when you said that you met a fellow DJ in real life.
Ooh-wee.
That's our friend Will. If I need to check the veracity of something, I will use this one. Fact check yourself, brother. And I've also got this new Alex sound effect. This Alex Will combo might be my new favorite.
Don't come for me.
And
Come for him.
So we're ready to have some fun on the show today. When the market falls, I will say that we have finally entered. Where does it go?
The pit of despair.
The pit of despair.
Brilliant.
We've
Perfect.
got the toilet flush.
There it is.
Whenever we need to travel back to like that time when we were founders before Frank, we can do a little rewind. And if somebody is caught up in one of those creator tokens that's breaking a million laws, we can say it's a trap. So we've got a lot of stuff.
Evan, do you know what movie that's from?
Yeah, thank you very much. It's from Star Trek.
Oh,
I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
man.
It's from Star Wars. Okay, so check this out. The sponsors for ETH
Just
Denver
kidding.
this
It's
year.
from Harry Potter.
Right, exactly. It's from Die Hard. The sponsors this year, the headline sponsors, presenting sponsors are Opolis.co.
Okay.
Never heard of them before.
Never heard of it.
A company called Zirkit that I feel like I've seen on Twitter, but which I certainly don't like recognize.
Also never heard of it.
And then the only one I do recognize is the Metis Foundation, which is metis.io. And I actually don't know if that's how they pronounce their name or if they say Edis. The second level sponsors, get this, Internet Computer.
Oh.
Not even like Dfinity, Internet Computer. 0x.
Mm-hmm.
And then the third level sponsors are a couple names like Arweave, Injective, Euler, which is EULER Finance, and then a bunch that you don't like: Hetu, Gelato, INF Stones, Dynamic, QuantStamp, Nudex, Metis again, Goat Network. I mean, there's tons of companies here. And some of them might be new DeFi protocols just trying to get their name on the map. They're not going to go anywhere, but some of them will become a big time company in the future for sure. I think there's a real strong signal to noise ratio where Ethereum sponsors of the past have become big time companies of the future. So there's your alpha.
Is it set up and run? Because that's one conference I've just never been to. Is it run the same way? Where there's a conference floor, there's a trade floor, there's spotty talks, there's random panels and all that. It's basically the exact same structure, or is there something unique about it?
Kind of. So for the last several years they've had the structure of the conference is the first week is a build-a-thon where it's mostly just a bunch of, developers and nerds hanging out together in like a hack house kind of situation, except the hack house is like a 4-story, they call it the castle, is this building. And then the castle becomes the conference space for the second 10 days. And the bottom floor is like a stage or multiple stages. They have exhibits, they have vendors, but they also have, all the other like fun stuff conferences have. They'll probably have an NFT gallery. They usually have like a gaming arcade. They usually have a Zen zone. They continue to have like hack style events. And then, they're just a little more gritty. Like Bitcoin Miami is in a conference center. ETH Denver, this building it's in, the castle, it's like a downtown Denver old style architect building. There's, I don't know, it just looks much more gritty. It's much more gritty. And the last week is a retreat in Breckenridge, and that's like rich.
Yeah.
And not like opulent rich, but like removed from the problems of the world rich. I went to that. I'm not rich. And I just remember sitting on a mountain, watching a puddle of water become ice and thinking about, how everybody there had all their, their skis and the freedom to take 3 weeks off and just do that kind of thing. It was, it was ludicrous.
Yeah. We used to do a gang trip to Breckenridge in college. You'd cram 30 of us into one, one hotel room or something like that and just snowboard all day.
Yeah, exactly. I will say it's a lot of people who come together for like houses and co-stays. So we should get a spot so that we can sleep comfortably because it fills up. But I remember, it's got side events. One of the side events I went to when I went was at a house in Breckenridge that, God, for the life of me, I can't remember. It was some like regenerative oriented DAO. Had a lot of people from Estonia. They were cool. And they had like a big cabin house that had a hot tub. And I remember after we watched a presentation about like tokenizing carbon credits to make them actually meaningful or something like that, we all got in the hot tub and would jump from the hot tub to the snowbank, to the hot tub to the snowbank. And it was really fun. So ETH Denver, that's the alpha. I can't hardly see the questions from here. My last week's setup, the screen was so much closer. And now that I'm at my usual setup at home, it feels so far away.
No worries, I got you. All right. So
let's hit some questions for the people.
A couple things too. So there was a good question about, can you sit on stable coins until exchanges get more liquidity? That's not usually how I look at it, but I mean, you can absolutely sit in stable coins. I am right now. I mean, I do a lot. My stablecoin bag is right now growing as we continue to climb up, and I sell little bits as we keep going. Just waiting for the inevitable, crash correction at some point. At which point, I will have more money than I did at the beginning to get the things that just did really well for me. And I haven't really had anything that changes conviction. I'm feeling good seeing Solana over 240 holding. That's one of the things I'm looking forward to getting Will's opinion when he's back on this continent, is the difference feeling for me here right now is just that we're like holding these lines a lot more purposefully than I feel like we have before. And I've been meaning to kind of like comb back through, Bitcoin's price history in particular. Not that we have anything comparable to breaking and holding $90,000 for this long, but I mean, I feel like I keep seeing the 67, then it was like moved up to 70, then 74 and 77. It's like, nope, we're just still going, and now we're just going to sit here. And that's what it kind of makes me think, like, at this point in the post-halving market cycle, typically we're not really behaving like this, and this feels like...
Is that true?
Yeah. So here, usually
in terms of Bitcoin.
Yes.
Okay. Because the market, I agree with you. But
and it's not totally atypical. It's not totally atypical. Like, if we go back to this time in 2020 is what I'm comparing us to, right? Because you had a halving in 2020.
Yeah.
I do vividly remember really like falling down the rabbit hole, paying hardcore attention right around this time, kind of through the new year and then into like January, February of 2021. And there was definitely stuff happening. ETH was making big moves around that point. Crossed $1,000, and that was a big deal. But just like in terms of setting new all-time highs, it's not normally here. And now the altcoins are not necessarily all-time highing, although it does feel really nice for our beautiful friends in the XRP army to see them getting somewhat of a pump. We're still a long ways off of their all-time high, and I hope that people are seeing profits and stuff. Because I mean, it's been below $1 for a long ass time. So this is cool. It's definitely, they deserve it. I say it all the time. No one on earth deserves to pump more than the XRP army.
Yeah, honestly, truly. Congratulations, friends. Although I don't know, I think they're in a sort of Solana situation where enough tokens have been issued since their last all-time high that they will hit an all-time high in market cap before they return to an all-time high in price. I'm looking at, I think Will might have the reverse Watson indicator might not be true this time. Will has been saying, I'm pretty sure, $90,000 for a target before the end of the year. And what I'm kind of expecting, what I remember happened, and I'm trying to pull up the chart to confirm this, in 2020 is that we had a run up.
Evan has left me. When will he look back at the screen is the $1 million question. He still hasn't done it. He's still not looking. My guy is just reading. He's just reading and not looking. All right, we've made eye contact. He's figuring it out. I don't know. Can you hear me? You left StreamYard, dude. You're gone. Evan, my sweet long-haired angel, I cannot hear you. You left StreamYard. Oh, that's interesting, Evan. No. There you are.
Welcome back, everybody. What I was saying is Bitcoin, it did this in 2020 where it ran up to 40,000 just around New Year. It pulled back to about 30, and then for the first half of the next year, it went up to 60K. And so some people are speculating that's what it's going to do again. That it'll be 90, and then maybe a dip, and then who knows where it's going? 120, 150 to the moon.
Okay, so that was an all-time high. Although, you know what constantly throws me off too is the massive, how many months long dip correction crash it was in 2021 when we ran up into the summer and then crashed at the beginning and then just didn't really come back till November. Or I mean, I guess we ran from, July to November. That was a pretty steep, but that was another part that really threw people off is as it came back, it really only set a new all-time high by just a little smidgen. Then we went into the bear. What do you think about XLM? I think that I knew we were going to get comments about Stellar, given that it's up 30%. I don't think anything about Stellar has changed. It is a dinosaur. They're going through a bit of a rebrand, trying to zhuzh up the place. But I would say just if you're pushed to ask us or ask anyone what they think about something exclusively because the price went up, I'm not going to have any new thoughts about it just because the price went up.
Yeah, that's well said.
Especially right now, because Manta or whatever, OM, also went up 30% at the same time. I didn't see any news about why these things this just happens. Bull run, it's just like, hey, this didn't pump yet. Send it. Because everyone's just looking for stuff that didn't pump yet to load into. and then prices go up.
Yeah, and something, when it's like XLM specifically, or even like XRP, Cardano are better examples of this. If you are a token that has a legacy, like you've been here for a while, people have made a lot of content about you, you're easy to find on social media and also on like Robinhood, then anybody who comes here for the first time, the second they get in the door, they're going to see your name and they're going to think, well, what should I buy? And they'll search for it and they'll see that, XLM people talk about it on social media, Cardano people talk about it on social media, or it's been here since 2017. And that influences them to buy while they're feeling FOMO, before they really know anything else. I'm with you, Alex. I think XLM, Cardano, XRP, they're all in that camp of like, nothing has changed about them. And even Cardano with the Charles, going into advocacy news, that is not enough to just 2-3x your market cap. Like that's not how it works. We've had big news or bigger news than that in the last 2 years with no effect. What's happening is that people are paying attention. Liquidity is here. Real quick commercial to say that if you are paying attention to cryptocurrency for the first time, if you're just learning about it, you're curious or you're skeptical and you're having a hard time finding good information, then you're in the right place. The Rise Up Morning Show is live Monday through Thursday at 7 a.m. Central Standard Time. We take your questions. We share helpful news, commentary. Alex and I have been in the space since 2017. Our colleague Will has too. And we're occasionally joined by some of our good friends in the space that want to help you totally for free learn while you're hanging out with us. And to that end, we've got a Discord server that you can join at the link in both of our bios, or it's on the screen right here, discord.gg/riseup. It's a community of learners at all levels of experience, just like you. And we've got even more resources at theriseupmorningshow.com. We do sell classes, we do offer coaching, but you don't have to pay us a dime to hang out, have some fun. And we say, rise up. So if you want to learn crypto, you need a little 101, then definitely jump in the community and let us know your questions below. Alex.
Question, just looking for an explanation of market cap. Mitch is saying every time XLM hits its high, the market has peaked the past couple cycles. I will say it's nowhere close. We need another 4x for it just to hit its all-time high from last cycle. Granted, it has doubled in a week. So it's not nothing. It's a very steep move up. I would imagine, if I had to guess and take this with a grain of salt, I would imagine that XLM is not pumping because there are no massive headlines about Stellar that have to do with anything other than the price. It's because XRP ripped.
Yeah, tokens
XLM
with X
is routinely referred to as its little brother, even though they do not work together. They are just both tickers that start with X. There's some founder crossover, but like the projects are not the same. XLM is a smart contract ecosystem. I would imagine that's why it's ripping, because it was way down. It hadn't moved at all. And then XRP went and did $1.20
numbers.
Whatever it ran up to. So someone was asking about market cap. Can you explain it? And Evan, I was actually thinking about talking about this today just because I've seen a few really bad explanations about market cap from other creators. And it always bothers me because if you're going to make content about cryptocurrency or finance in general and you don't understand market capitalization, I have no faith in you. Seems like a basic thing you should know if you're going to start making videos about stuff. Market cap is just a number. It has nothing to do with how much money is in an ecosystem or how much money has been put into an ecosystem. That's not what it means. Market cap is the price of a token multiplied by the circulating supply of that token. That's it. It has nothing to do with how much money people have invested in something. It's the valuation overall based on how many tokens are circulating and what the current market price is. I constantly see this misunderstanding that market cap is like how much money has been invested, and for market cap to double, the entire market cap needs to be reinvested. Like for Bitcoin to go from, what are we at? 1.7 right now?
Yeah, that sounds about right. I didn't see Bitcoin before the show. But let's go with it. We're close
So
to 2.
1.7 trillion in Bitcoin. If Bitcoin, wants to go to a $3.4 trillion market cap, it doesn't mean that 1.7 trillion more dollars need to be invested into Bitcoin. We could make the market cap of Bitcoin 40 trillion right now if we all who are holding Bitcoin collectively just decided that that's what we were going to charge for the tokens. If we took all our Bitcoin off of the exchanges, everyone did this together, and then everyone set a limit sell for $3 million, and you could not buy Bitcoin from anywhere else in the world for under 3 million, because we do have the power to do that if we all acted as one, which is extremely, extremely unlikely. I know I'm being a little bit ridiculous here, but for the purpose of my example, the market cap would go to however many tens of trillions, and not a single dollar more would have been put in. I have seen meme coins with holder counts of 100 people who all just agreed to set the price really high. I've seen meme coins that they're 3 hours old with a market cap of $300 trillion, because that's what the 30 people holding it decided to set the price at, which means the market cap goes to that. So just keep that in mind. Market cap is just price times circulating supply. That's it.
In the case of meme coins, though, it can be manipulated by people with a liquidity pool and control of a token supply. In which case, I used to explain it as money in the pot, and I stopped doing it for that reason. But in some cases, it literally is money in a literal pot, but not in the case of Bitcoin. And just a quick note about why people don't do that with like Bitcoin or Ethereum or whatever, or XRP or whatever, is because markets are super efficient, and they're more efficient than people. If every XRP holder, can you imagine a world where we tried to get every XRP holder to just only sell their token for $10 in order to increase the market cap to whatever? Eventually, somebody somewhere would say, no, I'm good to sell at $5. And markets, it's a human psychology machine. They eventually settle at an appropriate price, which is why we sometimes pick on crypto tokens that have really high market caps or high prices that don't seem to match the value they've provided the world, because on a long enough time frame, people aren't going to want to hold those tokens because nobody's going to want to buy them because the price doesn't match the value. And that was a super explanation, Alex. I feel like I was going to ask you a follow-up question about it too.
Yes.
Shucks. Oh, Alex, is that also why, what do you think about this? I don't know how to word the question, but the question I wanted to ask you was, I got a comment that somebody said Bonk is going to do a 250x.
No.
Bonk, for context, has a market cap of $3.3 billion.
No.
And so for the token to do a 250x, the market cap would have to be bigger than Ethereum and Solana put together.
Yes.
Not
going to happen.
Which just seems wild, right?
Yeah, not going to happen.
Same thing for like XRP to, $10 or $15 or whatever.
So it's a good point, because you're right. The market cap would have to then go up, which could imply like, okay, so that much money needs to come in. The two are related, but not that closely. So yes, 100%. A shitload of money would have to go into Bonk for it to do a 250x. Theoretically, it could do one without a single penny more going in if every Bonk token holder decided that this was the price now. However, the side effect of them all just deciding that would be that the liquidity pools that you're trading Bonk in and out of, as it relates to ETH or whatever its trading pair is, they're not getting any more dollars either. So on paper, everyone's token dollar valuation would be gargantuan, but you wouldn't be able to sell it. Yeah. Which is, I think, what you were kind of walking towards. Like Evan and I could launch a meme token right now, and he and I could be the only holders, and we could literally just mint 10 tokens and set the price at $400 billion per token. We could do that. The market cap would be obscene, but there would not be a single penny of liquidity. Then I could send you one of them, whoever you are. And in your wallet, the thing would literally read $1 bullshit token worth $400 billion. It would read that. That would be that would be your wallet label. Congratulations, your wallet value is holding $400 billion.
Yeah.
There's nothing and nowhere on earth for you to sell that thing.
Robbie says, "I'll take one."
Yeah, I'll take one. That's the way that these things often go. So, you would need more money to support trading at that high price. And like Evan said, this is why it's just a theory, because it would never last. Somebody would undercut the pile and sell it a lower to pull the liquidity out, and then the thing would crash and go to zero. But
Alex, how do you use market cap to inform your thesis about what a token, when you look at market cap, you look at something like XRP or you look at something like Bonk and you say to yourself, like, yes, this is a reasonable market cap, or I think this market cap could grow or shrink. What are some things you think about that help you arrive at that decision?
It's kind of case by case. There's definitely like some good rules of thumb, like if anything, $1 billion is a pretty magic number for market cap. At which point, I'm sure there are, don't quote me on this. I know there are like thresholds, when it's no longer a micro cap, or when it's a mid cap, and when it's a large cap, all that sort of stuff. Generally though, it's one data point that I'll look at. I'll always check the market cap. Of course, you kind of just figure it out, but I'm way more interested in like volume and liquidity and TVL. So these are
what is TVL, Alex?
Total value locked. That is actually the measure of how much money is in the ecosystem.
Yeah.
So for example, let's look at Stellar. So Stellar has done its run. Where is it? It is, what the hell spot is, there it is, number 24. Okay, so Stellar is at a $7 billion market cap. There's $2.2 billion worth of volume. Not nothing. Pretty
and that's how many people are buying and selling it over a particular time frame.
That is how much money has been bought or sold.
And is that 24-hour volume, by the way?
I believe so, yes.
Yeah, that's impressive.
It's not nothing. That's a lot.
But I would expect that if the price is up, that means people are actively trading it and paying attention.
Yeah. And just for the record, Bitcoin's 24-hour volume is 60.9 billion. Ethereum's is 27 billion.
60.9. They did it for the memes. Yeah, what's Tether's? That's what I really want to know.
Tether's is 69 billion.
Yeah, Tether.
Tether is number one always. Okay, here is, so then if we go to something like DeFi Llama and we look at Stellar, keep in mind, what do we say the market cap of Stellar was? Like $7 billion? Now
I gotta go look. For kicks and giggles, I've got to imagine that seems about right. Somebody fact check me. Where'd I get it?
No. Fact check
yourself, brother. Oh my god.
Okay, so honestly, yikes. So Stellar's total value locked. Remember, market cap 7 billion, 24-hour volume 2.25 billion. Thank you, Isco on TikTok. 7.31 billion. Total value lock. Money actually in the ecosystem. 33.8 million. Just a little tiny whisper of the amount of money that's in its market cap. Now, granted, that has spiked real hard in recent times, naturally, because the price went up. So more money has now gone into the ecosystem. But actually, let's take a look at that. That's a good comparison. Good idea, Alex. Thanks, Alex.
You're welcome, Alex.
Okay. Hey, you're pretty smart. You should have a talk show. Oh, stop it. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
So the market cap of Stellar in the past week, as the price has gone up 121% in 7 days. The market cap went from, here we go, 5 point, no, I want the week. There we go. The market cap went from 3.26 billion to where it is right now, 7.23 billion. So, there you go. There's your 2x. That tracks almost exactly.
Yeah.
A little bit more, However, and what does that tell us? What does that tell us? That the price went up by 121% and the market cap went up. Is there a difference? I can't do math. I'm not going to do math.
I think that's 120. I think that's right, Alex.
3.2 to 7.3. 120%. Okay, perfect. Market cap has gone up by $3.25 billion, and yet only loading.
I need a loading sound.
Come on, llama. There we go. And yet the TVL has gone from, ooh, yikes. Okay, that's a year. Where are we at? October, November. What's the date right now? The 18th?
Yeah, today's the 18th of November.
The total value locked only went up by $10 million.
Interesting.
So
okay,
the market cap increased by $3.25 billion.
Yeah, 2 times.
And yet $10 million was added to its total value lock. 10 million actual dollars went into the ecosystem. This is why I say market cap does not really matter. This is why I say TVL, total value locked, matters way more. Liquidity matters way more. If you wanted to know about liquidity, you could go to something like Dex Screener. You could look up XLM. Actually, let's see. Does Dex Screener index XLM?
I'm sure they do. Nita has a really good comment that people don't want to lock up their tokens if they can sell them for profit. And the volume would definitely testify to that. People are too interested in selling right now to lock their tokens up. And I don't blame them.
Here we go. So there's a pancake swap staking pool or liquidity pool with XLM to ETH. This is on Pancake Swap version 3. This particular pool is really dinky. There's $17,000 worth of liquidity in it.
Oh man, that is a dinky pool.
Here's an XLM. Here's a 3-year-old pool. Also on BSC. This is on Baby Swap. I've never heard of that.
I've heard of
Ooh,
it.
Yikes, that's even worse.
What's that tell you?
Oh, brother. Yeah, I mean,
and you're looking at this on DeFi Llama under their like
no,
APY or something?
These are just liquidity pools indexed by Dex Screener. I don't think this isn't. It's not indexing what I wanted to index.
I got you.
So
I got you.
No, those are not real. Well, I mean, they're real. They're just useless.
Yeah, they're just useless.
Yeah. The point is that, I mean, most people who are buying XLM are doing it on exchanges and stuff, but barely any money was really added to the ecosystem. Is my point.
We have a couple good questions coming in about this. Is coin locked? Does that mean people are staking? Yeah, it means that they have their coins allocated to some kind of protocol that it's not going to be sold without. It's at work. They're staking it. They're loaning it. It's in a liquidity pool, doing something. Alex, what are some other things? I don't know. It could be on a.
Some other things for what? Sorry.
I'm just trying to think of other examples of when a token is in a smart contract or has granted permission to a smart contract, such that it would be locked up. Because basically that's what it means. But I just wanted to illustrate it for people. Staking, providing liquidity somewhere. If you're lending it to somebody and there's a smart contract facilitating it, basically, and especially maybe for people who are new, we should say, cryptocurrency doesn't physically exist. It is information that is tracked on a digital ledger. And the computer code that facilitates the movement of it, which is really just the assigning of ownership to one party or another and the terms and conditions, that's called a smart contract. And the different protocols or computer codes that make blockchain applications work, they're just these smart contracts. So if I stake my Ethereum somewhere, then what I'm doing is signing a transaction with my private key that grants permission for a smart contract to allocate the information that represents my Ether to the network to validate transactions. It's just information on a ledger moving back and forth facilitated by computer code. It's not actually like in a vault somewhere.
Yeah, pretty much just any DeFi activity could use a smart contract, but it could literally be anything. Depending on how open the platform is to host smart contracts. I mean, Evan and I could write one. Well, if we were developers.
Yeah, but we could figure it out even without,
Even without.
Yeah.
I mean, you could come up with a reason to use a currency in a smart contract of some sort. It doesn't necessarily have to be DeFi. But no, I really just, we went on that tangent really just or that rant or that little boondoggle just to illustrate the point that market cap is not unimportant. It's a good quick indicator of the size and the strength of something, where the market cap is holding. We look at market cap. It is the way that we rank currencies globally, on the ultimate list. However, it's not the end all be all. And I always make sure that I check the hard numbers, the real numbers, not the theoretical numbers, because market cap is a little bit more theoretical.
Yeah, and another one of those numbers that people definitely can look at and that had a big role in the news for XRP just last week is liquidity. Alex, I don't know if you saw, but there was a liquidity crunch on Binance. I think there was some supply shock going on. People wanted to sell their XRP tokens. And
Believe it.
For folks who are new to our space, Binance is a centralized exchange. It is a giant. It is the largest centralized exchange by many assets measure in the world, by volume. And they didn't have enough XRP or enough other, they couldn't support people's orders.
Which
and so
out.
people
have been holding that shit for ages.
Dude, big time, right? And we're ready to sell. So liquidity as a metric is the measure of how much money is in the pot in any given place. On Coinbase, on Binance, these businesses, they're fulfilling the function like your bank does. And if you've ever heard of a bank run where the bank can't meet the demand of all the people who want to withdraw the money, Binance, Coinbase, they're just like that. Even though the money is digital, like you would think, oh, we just spin up some more. No, it doesn't work like that. The smart contract has the same kind of rules that a bank might, where when they run out of the dollars they've been allocated to provide liquidity for people to sell against, then you're out of luck, Chuck. The order won't go through. This is why also when Alex was talking about our bajillion-dollar meme coin, if we, created a liquidity pool, it only had $10 and we set the price to $1 billion, nobody could sell because the liquidity pool can't fulfill that order. It's not liquid. Liquidity is an important metric, especially if you're trading memes.
It's the only
metric
that matters.
And Alex, we actually had a good question about that. Somebody asked, hey, are you guys into trading memes on Sol? Do you want to tell them how we, that might be a good disclaimer for how we like to go to the meme coin casino.
Yes.
And how we don't.
Yes. So the short answer is, yeah, absolutely. I'm down to gamble a little bit. I treat it the same way that I would treat going to the casino. By the way, if you've asked a question that I have sent you a comment in reply to in the chat, I will get to you. I have them noted down. So bear with me. The meme coin casino is, I mean, it's not a bad place to go, hang out as long as you have real expectations and you go in with a plan. I think the reason that it's such a problem is because people treat it like an investment, and they think that because other people have won there, it's more of a sure thing and less of a gamble, and they overstretch themselves, where the problems come from. When I go to the meme coin casino, I have a beer and sit in Discord with Evan and other people in our little friend group, and we just throw a couple darts at the board and see what happens. But we're tossing around smaller amounts of money, and if you hit, you hit. It's like pulling a lever on a slot machine, but I'm not going in with money that I can't afford to just literally spend. I wouldn't even say lose. I would say I'm going in to spend money, and there's a tiny whisper of a chance that I come out with something. So I'm no stranger. And in that case, sure, you know, the more degen, the better. You see something that's like 30 minutes old and it hasn't done anything yet, you got a 50-50 shot. It's either going to go up by 1,000% or it's going to rug. And sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. You know, don't even take the time to sniff these things. You're just gambling. You're just throwing dice. That's it. So yeah, but that's fun. You know, if I go in with $20 and I turn it into $100, cool. That's a good day. It's way more likely that I just lose $20. So that's the way that I look at it. Someone was asking, I mean, Evan, do you have anything to?
Nope. That's exactly what I would say. I would say, wear your helmet. Be responsible. Don't invest more than you can afford to lose. Treat it like gambling, and you'll have a lot more fun.
Yeah, it is gambling.
It's gambling. That is the sound of your money leaving right there.
Yeah, and to be clear, like gambling is fine. Vegas is fun.
Totally.
People love it. But you don't take your paycheck to Vegas to put it into your 401k. You go to gamble. Shib's a meme, man. Shib is a meme. It's everything I just said applies.
Were you going to take us to another question?
Yes.
It sounded like a segue was in your voice.
So really quick, someone asked just about where to look at those hard numbers. I prefer DeFi Llama is the best place, far and away.
This is DeFiLlama.com.
Yeah, Llama, LLAMA, just like the animal. DeFi Llama. You can search up any ecosystem and it'll give you a whole breakdown. TVL, total value locked, how much money's in the ecosystem, and then they break it down farther. There's fees, you know, how much money is this thing actually making in revenue, if any. That is a good number to look up for stuff. That's my favorite. That's my go-to for all things metric related to crypto.
Yeah, and they've got a ton of stuff. Somebody was asking about if they show liquidity there, and they do. They will show you different places and how much liquidity they have. You can look up the APY yield farming opportunities for a particular token on their platform. You can even see, they even have a section for like halal, like which DeFi opportunities are halal, which I am not, I don't study or practice Islam, but my understanding is that pretty much anything DeFi to make it halal would actually be like a Fugazi workaround. I would actually really love to talk to somebody about that.
I know, I'm very curious because it sounds like a really shisty marketing tactic to me.
I know, right? It sounds super shisty, honestly, truly.
If anyone has any insight, they're genuinely curious what that means or how that works.
Yeah, would love to be fact checked. Fact check yourself, brother.
So a couple other good comments. Someone asked about Peak. We actually just reviewed it on Rise Up After Dark last Wednesday. Here's the thing. When you're talking about, you know, new ecosystems and kind of betting on their ability to attract, these are all things you can also kind of fact check. You can look up. So this would be a good breakdown, honestly, Evan. Like, this might even be worth a Sunday class at some point to do like a specific, you know, breakdown and analysis that you could apply exclusively to ecosystems whose entire value prop is we're going to get all the users and the builders. The spoiler alert is they're not. Almost no one is.
Yeah.
And a new layer 1, layer 2, whatever launches like every 20 minutes with that bumper sticker that they're going to onboard the first billion, whatever. Almost none of them will. And I can say that because we've seen how many, and you know how many actually have users doing stuff? Like 4. And of those 4, 2 of them actually have enough to like really make it a thing where you could look at and be like, yep, this is a mainstay. And honestly, that's Solana and Ethereum. Like, Avalanche has users, but even still at this point, I would look at it and be like, Avalanche has a little bit of a ways to go yet. You know, the DeFi ecosystem is good. It exists. There's tons of stuff you can do. It's not huge. Gaming is starting to bring more attention and purpose to Avalanche, and so it's growing there. I could see Avalanche becoming a third that has like a strong and diverse user base.
I could too.
But like someone made the point about XRP and XLM, these are massive projects that have tons of partnerships and all these different things, and the market caps are big, and yet they're, you know what is exemplified to me by Binance struggling with liquidity to keep up on a 2x from XRP in the past month, you know how many people have that token that just couldn't wait to get the hell out of there? That's all you do with that token is you hold it until you can sell it, and then you sell it. No one's using it for stuff. I mean, look at how big is XRP's market cap?
Well, great question, Al. I think we're around
$64
50
billion.
Oh, damn it. I was
64 billion. And yet, I'd be willing to hazard a guess that its TVL is a peanut. Its TVL is 14.8 million. It's half of Stellar's.
Yeah, the TVL
Stellar
is
has
rough.
a $7 billion market cap. I mean, it's just TRX is not. Yeah, I was muted because Evan.
I'm so sorry.
TikTok live.
I had a
All
alert I had to turn off.
all I said was that there is no TVL on XRP. It's
That's
less
right.
than Stellar. It's half of Stellar. So Stellar has $7 billion market cap and 33 and some change million TVL. XRP has a 64 and change billion dollar market cap with not even $15 million of TVL. Something about this TVL is wrong too, by the way. Like, as I'm sitting here looking at this chart, like, there's got to be a better place to look this up.
Then DeFi Llama?
Yeah, because it's flat. Like, it, you know how much it went, the TVL went up like in the last couple days? Like 300 grand. There's no way that's right.
I don't know. I don't know, man.
There's no way that's right.
I'm inclined to believe DeFi Llama. Honestly, truly. It doesn't seem like it would be, but I'm inclined to believe him. Alex, I do want to talk about while we're parked on XRP for just a second. I want to address this comment that talks about XRP and XLM and mentions, do you think they just haven't flipped the switch yet? And take a second to talk to our new friends and say, whether you're new or old, you should be really careful about people who talk to you using language like that. There's a really common scam, a series of scams and schemes that target the XRP and XLM community because of the narrative that is pushed around those tokens as the basis for some kind of new financial system. There is this misinformation spreading, and it has been for a long time, that your government, your bank, will stop using every other currency and they will start using XRP. And I am here to tell you that that is not information that's substantiated. It is conspiratorial, and I love a good conspiracy, but it is used most often to take advantage of and actively scam people. I can't tell you how many people I know who are taken advantage of by people telling them that they need to prepare themselves for the supposed switch that's coming. If your financial system is going to switch, you're not going to hear about it from somebody on TikTok. You're going to hear about it through official channels. And frankly, I don't think XRP or XLM are the candidates for a new global currency or global system. Almost every cryptocurrency is fast and cheap. Almost every cryptocurrency has the ability to facilitate payments. But the reason XRP probably won't be it is because the price of XRP is volatile, because stablecoins do significantly more volume already, and because the regulated companies like SWIFT that our governments rely on to do cross-border payments and remittances are integrating with blockchain, and they're not using XRP to do it. There are a lot of people who hype up XRP and XLM, and many of them will use that information to try and take advantage of you. Not all of them, but you know, just be realistic about those kind of things and protect yourself, because a lot of really smart people have been scammed by, you know, buying into those kinds of narratives. Do you have anything to add?
No, I think you said it.
And take your profits when you're up, okay? You know,
Yeah.
like, don't be a salty bag holder. XRP has a lot of people because they're hanging on. They're waiting for the price to go back up again.
Yeah, it's a strong narrative, you know. I can totally see there's so many people that are holding it probably just because they want the pump when this lawsuit is finally like all the way overall done. And Dr. K's, that was the point that I was curious about. Like, you know, XRP's TVL was growing basically all year. and now it is completely stagnant, and that just seems a little bit fishy to me, and I don't know that this is being tracked appropriately. If this is real, I'm worried for XRP long term for sure, because there's $0 going into it, literally zero, for months. 200 grand has gone into it according to DeFi Llama, and that just seems not right to me. So I'm gonna try to figure out.
Let's see if we can find it somewhere else. Where
they only index like 3 things, 3 protocols. And the XRPL DEX is the biggest at 14.4 million. So I don't know. It just seems a little sketchy.
And that's in the last month, the 300K it's telling you?
I mean, I'm just looking at the line. I'm just looking at the chart.
Yeah. But that's the last month. You're checking?
Yeah. So
I'm just looking to verify it. I'm cross-referencing it. I'm going to DApp Radar. And I'm gonna look at if my computer will let me, I'll do CoinGecko too. Okay, yeah, DApp Radar is telling me that TVL is 50 million, and that's a 25% increase over the month.
Let's see.
So
I wonder
from
what are they
from
indexing that
above
DeFi
40.
Llama's not looking at, and
Jesus,
why
man,
isn't
I
DeFi
don't
Llama
know.
looking at it?
I don't know, man.
Tell me why.
You think I know? Come on.
Okay, well, I'm glad the hunch was correct, because I'm like, there's no way that's right. Like, I know it's low, but
And CoinGecko, CoinGecko is loading slow for me. Hang on. And while we're looking this up, I do want to say welcome to the new folks. Welcome again. We're here Monday through Thursday answering your crypto questions, sharing helpful news and commentary. Been in the space for a number of years. We've built stuff here. We've bought and sold stuff here. And we're everyday people just like you. We're not super technical. We're not mega rich, wealthy billionaires. And our community is full of learners just like you at all levels of experience. If we miss your question, the best way to make sure we answer it is to jump in our free Discord server. It's discord.gg/riseup. And we'd love to see you there. I do want to answer this question while we're looking it up, Alex, about where we buy and sell cryptocurrency and whether we do a lot of buying and selling or we mostly just hold. And I'll, rug Alex and say we use a lot of different exchanges, which are the businesses who facilitate the buying and selling of crypto. Some of them are centralized, like Coinbase or Binance, meaning you use an account that they own and let you access to trade your crypto. And some of them are decentralized, which is sort of in alignment with the promise of crypto. One of the cool things about it is that you don't need someone else to hold your money and facilitate the transfer between you and your friends, or you and your family, or you and somebody you want to pay or share information with. It's facilitated by computer code, and everybody can see it. It's transparent. It's public. So we use decentralized exchanges too, like Uniswap, or Aerodrome is another example. I don't know. There are many. Jupiter. And it's kind of like the longer you've been in crypto, the more you wish you used less, because I don't know about you, Alex, but I have 1 million wallets. I've used a bajillion exchanges. It's a real problem. Alex and I over the years have worked to simplify. We probably both used to do a lot more than we do now, because we were trying to, chase profits or whatever, but it just becomes unmanageable at a certain point. The truth is, start with what works for you. I think Coinbase is a great place for most people to start, a good gateway. And then you can learn about many different kinds of options that are available to you to hold your stuff, custody yourself, trade directly between peers, and keep it simple, stupid kind of thing, because it's easy to get overwhelmed here.
Definitely.
Were you able to look it up on CoinGecko? It doesn't want to load for me. And frankly, I did not know that CoinGecko had a metric for TVL.
Oh, yeah.
So that's the other thing. You learn stuff all the time. Like, we've been here doing this. I use CoinGecko almost every day when I'm in crypto, and I have never seen that it's got TVL.
Where is it?
I don't know. My page is still loading, man. I just got that, got that premium Wi-Fi plan going on. I have about 5 cryptos. Someone says, can I put them all in one wallet? Yes, possibly. but also possibly not. Not every wallet is compatible with every blockchain network. You can think about cryptocurrencies like different files that live on your computer. And some of your files are JPEGs, and some of them are doc files, and some of them are Microsoft Excel spreadsheet files. If I send a spreadsheet to Alex that can only be opened in Microsoft Word, he can't open it because he doesn't have Microsoft Word. And similarly, if I send a cryptocurrencies, they live on networks. If I send a cryptocurrency that lives on one network, is in one file format, to a different network or a program that can't open it, then it's not compatible. Some good wallets that support a lot of cryptocurrencies are Trust Wallet, I think supports the most. MetaMask, Coinbase Wallet. There are a number of wallets that support many networks. And cold wallets too. Ledger, Trezor, Arculus, Elipal. If you're looking for something that's like a meme, that might be where it's hardest. And some wallets even allow you to add custom tokens, but that's sort of a level 2 thing. I wouldn't be, if you only hold 5 tokens, you probably don't have to worry about it. But let us know. You see some other questions there?
If, go ahead. And I say this without knowing anything about Turbo. I literally don't even know what ecosystem it's on. So Turbo's a meme, and the question is, does it have room to grow? The short answer is yes, every meme has room to grow. Everything has room to grow. The question is, how likely is that? And that's the gamble that you take when you buy a meme coin. Because sure, look at the size of Doge and SHIB and Pepe and stuff like that. And they are not any more special than anything else. They have first mover advantage, and that's about it. And then sometimes the meme just hits right. And that's what it is. Sometimes, not everything can be a peanut, not everything can be a Mudang or whatever. And there's not really a rhyme or reason to deciding who and what is going to run and how far it's going to go. And you're at the mercy and whim of attention. As soon as something is funnier or trendier, or enough new people think like, oh, well, I'm too late to this first one, but I can get into this one, then the tension shifts and then the thing craters. So just take your profits. If you're in a meme and you're holding on for like the long term, you're doing it wrong. Take your profit. It can always go up higher. It always can. And if you're comfortable with letting greed drive you to potentially just lose the whole bag for the off chance that you might be able to sell it at the absolute top, Godspeed. But that's what you're doing. You're rugging. Listen.
Checking me.
I don't have any other opinions about meme coins that I didn't just share.
Yeah, you name the meme. That's basically how we feel about it.
Insert the name of meme and my previous couple sentences. That's what I think about all of them. That's it. That's all of them.
Thanks for that, Alex. I just tuned into a whole show, and that's all you're going to tell me? Honestly, though, it's good advice. The longer a meme goes up, the more likely it is to come down. And the more you should consider taking profits. Do you think about all those people who are like, oh, I should have bought peanut when it was $17 or 17. You know what I mean? When it was tiny, the market cap was $17. I mean, do you really think you personally would have had the conviction to hold a token like all the way? You know what I mean? Like the heart racing, because every day you hold it, every dollar it goes up, it's likely to go down and never come up again, and you're most likely going to miss it. So it's a tremendous amount of luck involved. There's no TA on meme tokens. Although I will tell you, the blockchain data indicates that Turbo is having a moment. Market cap of 583 million, so big, and 24-hour trading volume of 232 million. The only thing I would add, Alex, to what you said, and that I would say is true for all memes, I feel more comfortable if I'm like a long-term meme holder. When Alex and I go to the meme coin casino, we're in and out. I close all my positions. I'm buying tokens that don't even have a market cap. You know what I'm saying? Like, these are young, fresh, super risky. And if I make money, I'm out. I don't hold anything overnight. If I was going to hold a meme for more than a day, I would pick a meme that had a market cap of like hundreds of millions of dollars or billions of dollars. I would look at Doge. I would look at Pepe. I would look at Bonk. I would look at Shiba Inu. And if I would consider Turbo or memes like it at the very bottom of that kind of tier. So, and it's had staying power, but it's not like in that S tier Shiba Inu Doge group yet. Could it be? Is it more likely that Turbo will get there than, Harry Potter Sonic Obama Inu that launches tomorrow? Yes, because it's stayed around. But it's also likely that it'll totally go to zero. So that's my only thought. If you hold Turbo, go, man. It's probably not a great time to get in, but
Yeah. And every time I say anything about memes, there's always someone who decides to tell me that I don't like them. I think I'm officially giving up. I don't know how to make this any clearer. I've said it 30 million times, and people who have heard me say this just walk away with it thinking I don't like memes, because I just refuse to lie to you and bullshit you and tell you that they're the most amazing investment ever and that you should put your 401k in them.
Yeah.
It's just, do you like fucking gambling? If you like to gamble, then go do it. It's the best place you can gamble on earth. I would say that pretty unequivocally.
Yeah, where else you said, can I go make 30%
anywhere more effectively than that? I truly don't.
No.
I like to gamble sometimes. If you like to gamble, then play with the meme coin casino. If you don't, then go fucking do something else. It's really that easy. There's no, I like them, I don't like them. Gambling is not my life. And if it's your life, I'm sorry for you. And you should probably talk to someone about that. But holy shit. It's not about liking and not liking. It's about actually understanding what it is and just being authentic about it. That's literally, that's the whole goddamn thing right there. That's it.
Isabella Farmer asked a really good question, and I want everybody in the chat to answer this. Which crypto are you hanging on to like a tick on a dog for this bull run? Thank you for the visual metaphor. That was tasty. I would like to know what everybody's holding on to. And
Solana.
I want to Solana you're holding on like a tick on a dog, man.
Look at everyone in this chat right now who's trying to shill me on their meme coin. 90% of them are on Sol. That's all you need to know.
Hey, man. I see Doge, I see Jupiter, I see Aerodrome, XRP, XLM, Doge. I did say somebody, Caspa, OXL, BTC, Sol, and ETH. Okay, all right. XRP, man, Bitcoin, Brett, Monkey. This is an interesting survey. I wish we could capture this.
I know. I really.
Also, can I just say that we had this idea last week. If you are into meme coins, what you need to do, hear me now. This is my financial advice for you. Okay, listen to this. Listen to me. Before Thanksgiving, you need to go on pump.fun or boba.fun or whatever.fun, dow.fun, and launch cranberries in a can.
Tell me why.
Because that is a meme that the country can get behind. And then you need to launch stuffing, and then you need to launch turkey, and then you need to launch gravy, and then you need to launch cranberries fresh. And turducken. Absolutely. And you need to make one of those little meme charts. That's a stupid copy paste website. Doug, what's the website with the emojis that with the meme coins with the animals? Remind me.
Yep.
And then just show a ticker. Just show a finish line ticker for market cap for your little cranberries. The potential is huge.
At the end of the season, they all go onto the banquet table and they all get rugged. And it's a beautiful thing. And then we transition to Santa versus the Grinch for Christmas. This is what memes are for. You're day trading attention and hype on something trendy and gambling. And someone is going to make a buttload of money that they're going to take from everyone who lost all their money. Because one thing is always true: for every one person that makes $10,000, there's 10,000 people that lost $1.
Yeah, and if you want to be a person who makes money, the truth is, you could be a gambler at the racetrack. You could be somebody who hangs out at the racetrack professionally, writes news about it, maybe sponsors a racehorse one day, which is the equivalent of launching your own meme token. You could be the owner of a racehorse. You could be a jockey. And that's the way to do it, is to be the person who's either building the exchange, building the racetrack, or who is launching the tokens in that way. And there are legally compliant ways to do this that don't expose you to unnecessary risk. So
you just have to not broadcast it and put your face on it. Yeah. That's pretty much it. If you want to launch a meme coin and do it legally, Launch it and then don't tell anyone that you did it.
That's right.
If you want to break the law, tell everyone that you did it and advertise it and
tell them to
try
buy
get
it.
people
Yeah,
to do
right,
it.
right. Alex, can we answer this other question about ISO 222 tokens? Because I've seen a lot of stuff about them too, kind of like I see about, you know, XRP, XLM and flipping the switch. And especially if you're new or even if you're not, I want to say that just so you know, there's a lot of misinformation about what the ISO 222 reports are saying about the cryptocurrencies they mention. A lot of people on TikTok, et cetera, will tell you that these are going to be the foundation for like a new monetary system. But in the reports that mention cryptocurrency from the ISO 222 countries, they are merely listing them as examples of the kinds of technology that they would be interested in adopting. Thank you, John. That was a beautiful heart. They are not endorsing them. They're not saying we're going to use them. They are not saying you should buy them. They're not saying we're going to do any more than mention them here. And anybody, they might be pumping right now, some of them, but I don't think it's because they're being adopted in a significant way by those countries. People who are telling you that are most likely trying to sell you something.
It's because that narrative is one of many narratives that just pumps every bull run. It's just ISO. They don't pump because they deserve to. They pump because they're a group and people are holding them and they want to be back in profit. So then they pump again.
Absolutely.
To the person asking me about the satellite, I'm not trying to pick on you. I'm being genuine. Like, that is a perfect example of a headline that doesn't matter. And I would challenge you to explain to me why I should care about that any more than like what is a momentary, potentially funny, like little pump, you know, like, oh my God, crypto XYZ, whatever is on a satellite. Cool. And it jumps up for like a week and then it goes back down and then we're done.
Shout out to Exit Velocity for the gobbler, the little turkey gift. Perfectly on Thanksgiving theme. We need cranberries next so people can vote. And Alex, we didn't give our tokens. You said sold,
Solana.
didn't you? Okay. The token I'm holding, like a tick on the dog, is Bitcoin, which is like so boring, man. You know what I mean? Like, could I get any more boring than that? But sorry.
You could say stable coins.
That's right. That's right. I could. Well, you know, it's almost that time that we're at the bottom of the show. So if you have a question that you haven't asked yet, now's the time to ask it. Now's the time to jump into the free Discord server if you haven't already. If you're one of our friends in Discord, then you know what you're doing. You're hanging out with us. We're going to be back tomorrow. We still got a couple more minutes, so don't go anywhere yet. You got a whole beautiful day ahead of you to rise up. But let us know what you're thinking, what you're concerned about. If we missed your question, put it in the Discord. Amsfar, thank you so much. Alex, did you happen to hear the most recent episode of Unchained? They had Robbie Minchkin, I think his name is. He's the head of digital assets for BlackRock. And that was a really good interview.
Okay, cool. Dude, my list of interviews to watch is so long right now. I don't know when I'm gonna find the time, but there's a few really good ones that because you sent me a Christo episode that I haven't listened to yet. And that one is so excited. Good. I know. Dude, every time I listen to him, I'm like, how the hell is this free? How is it free for me to listen to this right now?
How is this free? Okay, we got a lot of quick questions coming in about that. Unchained is a podcast that is available on all platforms. It's available on YouTube. Just Google Unchained Crypto. I believe their URL is unchainedcrypto.com. It's hosted by Laura Shin, who's a legitimate journalist and who just has the most relevant, timely guests. Like, you know, you hear World Liberty Finance is about to launch. She's got somebody from that. She interviewed Iggy Azalea when she did Mother Token. She's had Vitalik's times.
It's not even like Mother blows up and 2 weeks later Laura Shin gets Iggy Azalea. It's like Mother's contract address goes live and Laura Shin's like, oh yeah, I actually filmed a 3-hour episode with her yesterday. It's like, I don't know how she's so quick. She's so on top of it that it's basically like she manages to break news on a podcast that's pre-recorded
in crypto. You know what I mean? Like, she's nuts. And we're trying to get her on the show. I'm trying to find a time to get her. They also produce a show called The Chopping Block, which is like 4 VCs in crypto. It's honestly, it's kind of like the Rise Up Morning Show, but with a different cast. which is maybe flattering of me to say. It might be better. I don't know. I don't mean to make it personal, but it's that kind of style of a show.
It's
Great
really
stuff.
good. It's very like, she might not always tell you the thing you want to hear, which is why you should listen to her.
Yeah, it's killer. And if you're looking for the link to the Discord, you couldn't find it, the best place to look is on the screen here at TikTok and on the screen here on YouTube. And in our bios, we have links. I even have a pinned video in my profile that just is a step-by-step. If you've never joined a Discord before, you want to join ours, here's what you do. It's got screenshots and everything. And you really should. We're not trying to pump our numbers when we say this, but if you're interested in learning more from us, you should follow us today, because we have a lot of spam accounts. Because we have modest followings and we talk about finance adjacent things, there are many people who impersonate us and reach out to you directly to try and separate you from your money. But these are our only accounts. We will never message you directly first without notifying you somewhere publicly. And we just want you to stay safe. And we'd love to see you back. So if you can't find the Discord or you need a little extra help, send us a message, and of course we'll be glad to help you. Oh man, we're getting a flurry of comments on YouTube. I'm sorry, I'm catching it. Cranberries with hat. Cranberries with hat. That's the classic one. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, the number of like things with things is that the with trend is one of my favorites. And actually, so okay, here's a meme story for those of you who still to this day think I don't like memes. I've hit 2 meme winners in my life, and they basically funded my trading wallet for memes for the rest of the bull run. One of them was so stupid. Evan was there for this one. It was just Base Jesus. Base had basically just started doing memes, and it was like the second or third meme, and it was the only thing was a website that said he is risen. And I was like, yeah, 100% full send. And it did like a 24x, and I sold the whole thing, and it did a few more after that. But whatever, I made a bunch of ETH off that one. So that funded my ETH bag for the entire bull run. And then on the other side, on the Solana side, there was one that right after that news story had broken where the plane lost its door, there was one that was just called Boeing Whiff Hole.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, that's topical. That's hilarious. It just happened in the news. Like, I could totally see it. And I did like an 18x on that one and made all my soul for the rest of the bull run. I've lost on every other meme since then, which is why I never talk about them, because 98% of the time I lose. But those 2 covered me. And the second huge pump, I stopped right there, took the entire thing out and left. And that was it. It was hilarious.
Nice. The biggest win I had in the last year on a meme token is I can't say its name on the air. It has a slur in its name, which just goes to show you, you really can make money on anything. I saw it and I was like, oh, this is gonna rip. And I felt when I tell you I felt conflicted about putting it on chain, that I was purchasing a token whose name was unutterable in common parlance. I was ashamed, but then I think I made 600 and some %. It was wild.
Woof.
It was great.
Sonoran asks if I can explain what ETH bag means and why it's important to have one. So when I say that, what I mean essentially is that when we're coming to the bull run, or just kind of existing in general, as I work inside and around the Web3 space, I pay people in crypto. However many times I've hired someone to do something, I pay them in stable coins. And I always keep, a couple wallets on every chain that I use, Solana, ETH, etc., stocked with enough gas to do the stuff. And I like to have a little extra, because in the bull run, gas on ETH goes up. And if you have to do something on ETH, you need to have a little bit extra. Plus, I'm just generally bullish on Ethereum, like overall. So I wanted to have some more, and I didn't want to buy it. So I figured maybe I can win some at the casino, and I did. So when I say, stock the bag, it's basically just, as I build my positions that I have conviction in for the bull run, and then as ETH goes up, I turn it into stable coins gradually. The higher it goes. Same thing on Solana. Same thing. I don't have predictions on anything. I don't make price predictions because I don't have a crystal ball, and I would just be guessing and pulling a number out of my ass, and I have no idea. So, I mean, if you want me to make up a number, you could make a number. Someone asked about price predictions, and I'm just saying I don't do them because I have no idea. Nobody does.
Yeah, nobody does. We do have a couple of good questions.
Yes.
That are coming through at the end that maybe we can rapid fire.
Go for it.
Do we? Hang on. Where did it go? I'm sorry. The chat, you're moving so fast and it's so
Do you
good.
hold anything on exchanges? Yes. But not long term. Anything on exchanges is usually the stuff I'm kind of buying and selling in and out of more quickly. And honestly, the farther and farther into my, Web3 life I get, the more I don't do that on exchanges. I on ramp on exchanges, and then I'll hold like some capital there in case I want to get something new and then keep it and just sell right out of it and leave. But honestly, I've kind of been pulling all of my money out of exchanges and moving them to my wallets and just using DEXs for everything. And then, should the day come when I decide I don't want USDC anymore, then I would go back and do that through an exchange to get back out into the bank account. But lately, I really have not had a need to do it, and I just keep, I have a Phantom and a MetaMask, and each one has stable coins in it, and that's what I would use to, make any moves I felt like I wanted to make.
And somebody asked, if we're interested in self-custody, Isabella, cold storage is a pain in the butt. I have a video probably about 40 or 50 back on my profile that talks about 3 types of wallets you can use and how to use them together, how you can use exchanges, non-custodial hot wallets and cold wallets together. I don't think you should be moving your stuff in and out and in and out and in and out of a cold wallet all the time. I think that's a pain in the butt. I don't do it. Alex doesn't do it. If I'm going to trade something again soon, I mostly sell it for stable coins and keep it in a wallet that is hot, but is non-custodial, that I own the key to, that I'm not doing a bunch of stuff on the internet with. And that's totally okay. I only put stuff that I plan to hold longer than a few months in a cold wallet. If I'm actively trading it, it's on chain. And I want to answer this question about real applications of crypto. Somebody said, oh, so crypto is just for gambling? That's it? No. Crypto is a disruptive technology. Blockchain, smart contracts, cryptocurrency are going to innovate pretty much any industry where people rely on a human intermediary to do a job that a computer could do better. And it will free humans to do jobs that humans are uniquely qualified to do. Like the teller at your bank would be much better at greeting customers or building relationships with prospective customers, representing the bank, smiling in the lobby, than they would guarding the money. The truth is, the fact that it's a human who has to guard the money means that somebody else could walk into the branch with a stick of dynamite and say, give me the money, and they could fear for their life and do it. If you hold a stick of dynamite up to a piece of computer code, it turns out nothing happens. And when the money doesn't physically exist, it turns out nobody can steal it. Not to mention, there are so many applications for payment right now. Millions of people are sending billions of dollars every month around the world without permission from their government in transactions that can't be censored, that are pretty much instant, that cost almost nothing, using cryptocurrencies that are as stable as the United States dollar in markets where they can't get access to the US dollar. It is a huge innovation in freedom and will innovate beyond money, any place where information exchange and information ownership matter. Content creation, consumption, property rights, you name it. It goes on and on and on. And eventually, I think the simplest way to sum it up is cryptocurrency as a technology helps people align their values and coordinate at scale. It's a whole new medium, just like language. You can tell a story with language. You can teach somebody how to do something. You can express a thought or feeling. Cryptocurrency will extend our ability to do that in new ways. I hope that helps. And I don't know if you have any other news resources, Alex, but that was another question I wanted to answer. Unchained is my number one favorite go-to resource, but I like reading CoinDesk or, Crypto Panic or whatever.
I mean, I do get breaking news and like headlines off of Twitter, but I just always fact check them because half of the stuff on Twitter, and half is probably being generous, is straight bullshit. It costs nothing to lie on Twitter. Just remind people of that all the time. It costs nothing, and it can make you a lot of money to lie on Twitter. Especially in a day and age when people like Elon himself will retweet anything interesting without looking into it. So I always fact check what comes off Twitter because it is great for like high velocity breaking stories in the same way that TikTok is. But it also adds high velocity to garbage. Okay, there were some good questions I think we could finish up on here. And then if your question is not really rapid fireable, and Trixie, I completely agree. If your question is not rapid fireable and I don't address it right now, please just drop it in the general chat of the Discord and we can talk about it all day long. There are some questions that are kind of just better that way because we can kind of go back and forth with longer comments, and it's really hard to have a conversation with people who ask questions in the TikTok comments because you guys are character limited so heavily. It's really hard to put a good thought in, and sometimes questions come in and I don't really understand them because of how limited on characters people are. It's really honestly a problem. I wish that we could like verify people in the live and like allow them to write a bigger comment, because I get it for spam, but it would be really cool if you could be like a verified viewer and you could get a longer comment or something.
Well, and I just wish we could stream TikTok from StreamYard or something like that so that we could manage a chat more effectively. So TikTok, help us out.
Dave, what's up? Good to see you. Rapid fire question for Dave: why is XRP increasing? We talked about this a little bit in the beginning of the show, but just in case you're new and you just popped in, haven't heard it's simply going up because Trump was elected. I just probably got us the flag. 2, the Ripple C-suite has been seen chatting up, the government. They're good at that. 2 or 3 rather. Gary is, theoretically on his way out of his position, which means that the lawsuit will probably be dropped and gone and whatever. There's just speculation and hype based on all of those things.
I don't even think those are the most compelling reason. I think the number one reason people are buying XRP right now is because when you log into the front page of the internet, the cryptocurrency internet, whether you're on Robinhood or Coinbase or Binance, everywhere people will go for the first time to buy cryptocurrency, it's there. And also when they search what crypto should I buy on social media, one of the cryptocurrencies that will come up is XRP. There's this fallacy that people don't want to buy Bitcoin because the price is too high. And so they're looking for something, cheaper, but that's been around that could have potential. And there's just so much noise about the potential of XRP. And same thing for Bonk. It's on the front page. So it's
on the front page. Trade. So somebody else had asked, and I'm sorry, I'm losing all of the usernames as I go back to try to grab these questions. Someone asked about cryptos with real use cases. One of the things that we talk about on the show a lot is that if you boil down crypto to all of the various niches and the narratives that exist, there are 3 that we believe have achieved adoption and usage among its target user base, which basically just means that there are 3 things in crypto that people do stuff with beyond just buy and swing trade and gamble, which is what most of crypto is. Those 3 things are meme coins, because all you're supposed to do with them is gamble on them. And by God, they did it. Number 2 is DeFi. There are tons of users using DeFi protocols, staking, borrowing, lending, collecting yield, farming, all that sorts of stuff. DeFi is very popular. DeFi has achieved adoption with its target user base, DeFi users. And then 3, newer on the block, is gaming. There's a ton of games out there now. There's a ton of people playing those games. Someone else had left a comment just about, crypto is often frowned upon when it enters a new industry. Completely agree. It all depends on how it enters the industry. And gaming is a great example of one that had crypto enter unhelpfully and has now had crypto kind of re-enter in a more helpful way. And my proof of that would be, several years ago, the games were super niche. There were like 3 of them. They weren't that great. There's 1 or 2 good ones. Stuff like Gods Unchained has been around for a long time. Axie was a good game, whatever. Now you have stuff like Off the Grid getting streamed by the biggest streamers in the world, who have their own custom skins. Like Ninja got his own skin that was an NFT that a bunch of people collected, and that was pretty cool. So it's kind of re-entering that industry more helpfully. But suffice it to say, there are legitimate gamers playing those games and actually having fun. They don't care too much about the tokens. Those three things. So projects in those, I am more interested in than anything else. If it's a good DeFi protocol that is attracting money, that has users that are farming and doing stuff, cool, I'm down. If it's a game that has players that are doing transactions and making wallets and moving assets around, regardless of whether they're trading a currency or not, that's cool. And then 3, memes. Memes are memes. If you're gambling, cool. It's kind of a, more of a benefit to the ecosystem, because like Solana, I mean, that's one of the reasons that Solana is doing as well as it is, because a ton of people went there to gamble on the meme coin casino because the fees are cheap, it's fast as shit, and there's a bunch of memes and there's a ton of people. So win-win.
I would add real world assets too. Somebody mentioned Propi in the chat earlier, or Ondo, or the Biddle Fund.
Yeah,
you don't think so?
But
I think that's definitely.
I
I think there's more proof in the pudding for RWA so far than there is for gaming. Frankly, I think you have a vision for gaming.
I would enjoy being proven wrong about that. I just have not seen compelling evidence to suggest that people who do those things are really into doing them on chain. Buying and selling real estate, tokenizing all of their different. RWA is one of the. I've done a whole video breaking down that narrative. I do think it's awesome. I think it's a great use case. I have some big reservations about it that kind of make me a little bit nervous, but I would be very open to being proven wrong about that. I would not say that I'm right, for sure.
Fair.
Just an opinion.
And the last question I want to address is about Bitcoin ETFs. What's the difference between Bitcoin and a Bitcoin ETF? This is kind of like the real world asset question. Bitcoin doesn't physically exist, but when you buy Bitcoin through a cryptocurrency wallet and you're buying Bitcoin directly, you have the right, you own that Bitcoin. Nobody can control its movement but you. Oh, hey girl. Who is that? Is that Meatball? I can't see.
Meatball looking out the window.
like in the arms of an angel, fly away, looking out the window. I wish I had that.
Waiting for her husband to come home from war.
Yeah, from war. Yeah. But an ETF is the right to own the thing. And there are many services in crypto that are not just an ETF, where what you're buying is like the right to access the crypto. For example, if you buy crypto through a custodial wallet, an exchange like Coinbase or Robinhood, then what you are buying is like the privileges that come with being an account holder online. If Robinhood goes down, you might not be able to access your Bitcoin. If the market is closed, you might not be able to trade the Bitcoin ETF. You might have to pay a fee to a custodian who manages the ETF and holds the Bitcoin on your behalf. So the Bitcoin ETF is a way for people who don't want to do crypto stuff to get access to Bitcoin. But for crypto natives, a lot of people prefer Bitcoin because they prefer directly owning and controlling the asset. There are advantages to both, different strokes for different folks. That's my last thought, man. I know you probably got to get out of here. You got work to do. Do you want to give a final thought before we ride our dogs and ponies into the sunset?
Just thanks to everyone who spent their morning with us. I appreciate it. Evan appreciates it. We will be back same time, same place tomorrow. If you have a question that you did not get answered that you would like an answer to, I am sorry. There were quite a few today. Just drop them in Discord. If you're looking for specific token reviews, I'm seeing a lot of stuff about Render and a whole bunch of other stuff. These are all tokens actually that we have already reviewed and talked about. The information is in Discord, our opinions on them, our thoughts on them, whatever.
And on Rise Up After Dark, which you can find on YouTube.
Exactly. Yes, that was my last commercial. Sorry. Every Wednesday evening we do a night show, and the theme for every Wednesday is just token reviews. So if you have one that you're curious about, drop it in Discord. We can chat about it up until then. And then the ones that have a lot of votes that people really want to see, if we haven't reviewed it on an After Dark before, we will review it Wednesday night. There are no tokens that are off limits. We do everything from the most degenerate memes to, I don't know. We haven't done a stable coin yet, but we could totally add one.
Yeah, we have. We did. Didn't we do Tether?
I mean, we've talked about USDC and USDT, of course, but I mean, like the odd ones, like PAX G. We've never done a focus on PAX G before.
Oh,
That
sure.
would be kind of interesting.
Die. Ugh.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair though, talking about algorithmic stablecoins would be kind of interesting. We could do that at some point. Why? Because like DJED would be an interesting one. It got a ton of hype and then it kind of launched and no one said a single word about it ever since. It's still there being DJED. So that's all I got. Thank you for being here. If you have a question that is lingering, drop it in Discord and we'll get to it.
That's right. And if you have complaints,
Don't come for me.
but if you have questions, suggestions, good jokes, words of wisdom, those are certainly welcome. And we will be back tomorrow, same time, same place, 7 a.m. Central Standard Time, right here, wherever you're watching. We'll see you in the Discord. Thank you for being the best part of our show. And as always, my friends, until next time, everybody.